there I was listening to Kendrick versus Drake. Goodness, when's that gonna end? They say it officially end. I heard you, Top Dog, but it doesn't seem like all the smoke has cleared. Well, all the smoke has cleared for First Take versus Undisputed in terms of the ratings war and who was going to win that battle. We all saw last year, especially before football season, Shannon Sharp leaves Undisputed. He goes to First Take. And then everybody from ESPN, from Keyshawn Johnson on down, seemed like they just went to Undisputed. They went to FS1. So they got Richard Sherman, Michael Irvin, a lot of details there. But basically, we got First Take, Stephen A. Smith, Undisputed, Skip Bayless. And we all know Skip Bayless built First Take from Cold Pizza. All right, so the ratings war is over in terms of them competing. First Take won, and they won by a landslide. It was rap. Well, they say joystick, 21 donut, give me that. All right, but that's not it. There's way more to this conversation and story, and I also want to know what you guys think about both shows. Which one is your favorite? Are the ratings really revealing what you guys truly feel? So let's start with the guy who's on top, the king himself, Stephen A. Smith. Listen to him talk about this same ratings war.
So, Stephen, that was then.
Yes.
This is now.
Yes.
You've had multiple co-hosts.
Yeah.
I love what you guys do on Mondays and Tuesdays during football and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The question is the rating wars.
Right.
Who's winning now?
It was me. You know?
Close?
Not even close. And I don't say that with joy, believe it or not, because I want to win. I want to be number one. But I think a couple of weeks ago, we won by a 10-1 margin.
Wow.
It's been very, very lopsided. I take no joy in saying that because I want Skip to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to always be grateful for what he did to me. Keyshawn Johnson's a friend of mine. Michael Irvin is a friend of mine. You know, Richard Sherman is a friend of mine. I'm not rooting against these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, First Take is definitely it. This is at a time when linear television, you know, this is dwindling, shows are getting canceled. We're going up in the ratings. I literally had a conversation with the bosses like, look, if I'm going to continue to do this show, it can't be about that because now I'm competing against myself. I'm proud to say that I wake up every day with two thoughts in my mind. How do I make my bosses more money? And how do I get some of it? I can say stuff like that about being at ESPN because I know I don't show up to work thinking about just myself. I show up to work thinking about facilitating success for the company. I want all of these guys to succeed and these ladies. I see, you know them all. You see them all every day. Anything they need from me, I'm happy to do it. The bosses need something from me, I'm happy to do it. I'm here to win for all of us. So, but I'm not going to apologize for wanting to win for me too.
Okay. We all just heard Stephen A. just break that down. Respect. It seems like you guys already voted and voted loudly, right? First Take, FS1. I mean, that's what it looks like. But are the ratings really hearing what you're saying correctly? Is the conversation, and why? I want to know why. Because a lot of times when I say, man, it's not even a conversation. First Take is killing Undisputed. And some people say, no, it's just because they got the machine. They got ESPN behind them, all that stuff. So let's break it down a little bit. Okay, now I knew this was going to be a tough ride for Skip Bayless to leave what he built at ESPN in First Take and then try to rebuild it again somewhere else, right? To ask the remix to be better than the original. That's rare, it happens. Only like Biggie, One More Chance, right? I got 5 on the remix, pretty good too. But the point is, the original usually beats out the remix, right? The original movie usually beats out the sequel, usually. That's just how it goes, status quo. But there are exceptions. There was a time when Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless had their chemistry. They had it all going, the antics. They had the blacks, they had the drink, they had the LeBron GOAT heads. And you were like, dog, everywhere you went, it seemed like everyone was talking about Undisputed. Even though the ratings still were saying First Take. Not by the margin it is present day, but it was still saying First Take's the winner. So why is First Take beating Undisputed? You got Skip Bayless who built First Take. Why can't you just do it again? A lot of people attribute this to the fact that once Shannon Sharp left the show, it was a wrap for that show. Because now all the emphasis was on Skip Bayless in terms of leading that show. And then his role changed. Remember, they took the break and then he came back and the role changed. And I was like, is Skip the host? Is he the moderator? Where Kerry Champion at? Give me some. Jenny Taft, line one, somebody. Skip the host? Skip not as dynamic in that role. Like, you know what Skip is. He's reliable, right? He's going to give you that take that he's not going to move off from, and he's not going to budge, and he's going to be strict and stubborn, as Stephen A. Smith even talks about. But then now we need you to be more vibrant, more dynamic in this role. We need you to cover all bases, not just the one you want to. And he didn't do that. So I'm looking at it like this. It's as simple as the distribution. ESPN is everywhere. And people got to be careful when they say that because FS1 is in as many homes as ESPN. I'm going to say it again. They're in as many homes, your house, as ESPN. However, where they're not, it just seemed this way. They ain't in every restaurant, or they ain't turned into that channel. They ain't in every lobby. They ain't in every bar, etc. All of those social settings, it just seems like FS1 is losing that battle in terms of your eyeballs. So when you go out, bar food, background, visuals, it's always ESPN. Is that why they're beating Undisputed? Nah, not by this margin. You can't say that. What about the personalities? Stephen A. Smith beat Skip Bayless. Yeah, I give you that. Even though Skip Bayless is the godfather, he built this, Stephen A. Smith got Skip Bayless in terms of like, oh, you gonna entertain me and you gonna say something I wanna hear, educate me? I gotta go there. Oh, what about Shannon Sharp? Keyshawn Johnson. Well, that's another one. You gotta go with Shannon Sharp in that conversation. So they got the number one and number two hitter that's trumping what they got at Undisputed. You can keep going with Michael Irvin, he's still there. Richard Sherman's coming back according to plan. He's still coming back even though he had the DUI, in which it was bad timing because everybody thinking he got fired when I think it's just his offseason because he wasn't supposed to do that many days in the beginning. All right, so you're looking at it like for starter, where do you go to Undisputed first? Stephen A. got Skip. Shannon got Keyshawn. Ryan Clark, ooh, that's a good one. Michael Irvin, Richard Sherman, Ryan Clark. Michael Irvin, right? I say Michael Irvin, but Ryan Clark, more depth, more stories, more things he can do. That's tough. Who y'all got? Michael Irvin, Richard Sherman, or Ryan Clark? That's tough. I go with damn. I want Michael Irvin, but I'm like, outside of football, what are we gonna do? What are we talking about, Mike? All right, so I'm gonna go with Ryan Clark. Better bench lineup, right? You start going to other cast of characters. Who's winning that one? Like in football, I ain't reading off who on the bench, but you know who they are. They good dudes, right? Like a Bart Scott or something like that, right? Better brand, here we go. First Takes brand versus Undisputed brand. See, the funny thing is there's interest and principle coming from the ESPN First Take brand because Skip helped build it. Like Skip, when he left the equity and brand there. It's like, dog, all that you built up and invested in, still there. Even though you're here, you built up something shiny, something attractive, something that we all can still be captivated by. So I got to go with better brand there. Better show quality. There was a time where I did like Undisputed more than First Take. I can't lie. Now, I think I liked it more just because that dynamic, like Skip and Shannon figured something out that was unique versus what Stephen A. was doing was kind of like he's up there and then everybody else was fitting in. And I saw Skip and Shannon going at it. And I like that. But that's gone now, right? They're trying to change the whole debate topics. They're trying to change the whole debate as a platform. Some reports are, I heard this, they're trying to just scrap debate over there at Undisputed in First Take. It's still trying to do what they're doing, but theirs is not even really debate anymore. They're just talking about stuff. They just bringing up topics and talking, which is great. Undisputed still had a debate style and format, and then that kind of starting to wash away, and now they kind of like in no man's land. Like, y'all not debating, but y'all also not just purely discussing. And let's be real. The toughest thing about Undisputed are the topics that they choose. They don't pick enough topics. They're like, God dang, another one? Another Lakers? Lakers ain't even in it. Still talking about the Lakers? So that's Skip Bayless doing his thing. Y'all know what I've told you guys over the years about Skip Bayless and how they choose topics. Look at the old videos if you don't know what I'm talking about. So let me give it to you like this and button it up. The best way it was described to me was by Mark Schlereth when I first got to FS1. He said, look, dog, you left ESPN, that's like working at McDonald's. Now you at FS1, that's like working at In-N-Out. And I was like, oh, at first he said it, and then you think you get it, but you really don't get it, but this is what it is. McDonald's is everywhere, right? McDonald's plays on your real estate taste buds. You know what that means? That means whenever you're hungry, hi, I'm right here. In-N-Out ain't like that. However, when you're hungry and you're around In-N-Out, oh, it's gonna taste good, right? So if you into Undisputed, if you into Skip Bayless, oh, that's amazing. But if you just want some general sports knowledge and some general entertainment, you just good with McDonald's, dog. Maybe not the best tasting thing, but who ain't had a Big Mac and said, I have another one, right? That's what it is. So when Slayer said that to me day one, I didn't know what he meant, but it's also a depth of this. McDonald's, that big brand, right? It's just everywhere, just doing it all. Whatever you need, we got you. In-N-Out, a little thinner slice, right? A little more laser focus, a little more we only doing this, but we gonna do it right. Well, by your votes right now, it doesn't seem like Undisputed is doing it right. So what would y'all say to fix